All right, so the summer reading for 10th grade, good news is it's nothing like the summer reading for 9th grade. Don't go crazy with clicking in advance. Let me walk through one thing at a time for you. And I just want to make sure that everything is clear regarding what you're doing, so that way if you need to refer back to this, you can. All right, so what I did is I posted a bunch of different things under Summer Reading 2021. So what we're gonna look at first is the Summer Reading 2021 handouts and links. I made these all of you only. Let's just say over the summer, one of you reaches out to me and you're like, Miss Buff, I don't understand your directions and I need to revise how I wrote it. This document will be on my website, but it'll also be on Google Classroom and it'll have live updates. Where I make a copy of the assignment, it doesn't produce a live update. I hope that makes sense. So let's click on the 10 AP summer assignment and I'm going to walk you through all this jazz. All right, so as always, Miss Buff builds in boost grades. So as much as you may have hated me in the beginning of 9th grade, you thanked me because you started out really strong with your average because you had that summer assignment built in as a test grade. And as we all know, the AP multiple choice are challenging. So when in 10th grade, we're going to be jumping right in because we already know the deal. So this 3 test grade portion is going to help you out tremendously in quarter 1. All right, so it says all portions of the assignment must be typed, stapled, handed together. All right, so all portions of the assignment are going to be digitally turned in. Okay, and I'm going to walk you through. So generally, all students opt to turn in their assignment on the first day of school. So additional assignments and projects will be assigned during the first week. So while not required, turning in the summer assignment on the first day is an option available to students and strongly urged. That's code for turn it in on the first day. You have the whole summer. 10th grade's different because I launch you out of the gate. So that's the difference between 10th grade and 9th grade. You already know my procedures. You already know how we're shaking and baking. We're ready to go. So my advice to you is turn it in on the first day so you are not time management stressed. However, I'm holding you to September 23rd. We start school late next year. I believe you guys aren't back till September 9th. So I have to give you 2 weeks. And September 23rd is the absolute last cutoff date. So I kept alive Edmodo. So I'm going to change the name once school is done to 10 AP. You won't have to join or do anything. You're automatically in it. And you're in Google Classroom already. So you don't have to do anything. So you guys can throw questions on Edmodo to the whole group if you have a question on the assignment, or you could contact me via email over the summer. Now realize I don't check my email daily in the summer, but I will get back to you. Edmodo is great because if you have a question, odds are somebody else in the room might have it too, and we can answer that one question in one shot together. Okay, so that's why I like Edmodo for the public questions. I prefer Edmodo feed to the Google Stream just because it gets all clogged and you can't respond to the exact person. So that's why I prefer the Edmodo feed. All right, so part 1 is the first test grade. So you're going to fill out the periodization organizer attached to this Google assignment. It must be typed. So I'm going to show you what that is, but you're not going to worry about fact dumping. You are focusing on big ideas and major concepts. You will be required to research in order to complete 1450 to 1750, 1750 to 1900, and 1900 to present, since the 9th grade portion of this course only covers material up to the Enlightenment. All right, let me show it to you first, and then I'm going to tell you how you're going to do it without the textbook over the summer, because the digital textbook, it might work over the summer because you guys are already enrolled, but it might expire. So just in case. You don't need to pull this up on your screen right now. I'm going to show it to you on mine. All right, so periodizations. Here's what it looks like. Easy. You're filling out a chart. So I've cut this assignment in half because College Board really focuses their questions on 1200 to present. So I did just like a quick recap for you of what we did in 9th grade. And you're filling out this part of the chart. So you're going to tell me what occurred in bullet form, okay? So I didn't throw in bullets for you, but you can easily just bullet your answers. And you're going to tell me, why did this change occur? Why did things continue? Why did it stay the same? Okay, why am I having you do this? I'm having you do this because in 10th grade, we are going to be learning how to do the CCOT essay, which is change and continuities over time. This little graphic organizer is going to be your best friend for 10th grade. So a lot of teachers require textbook reading over the summer in 9th and 10th grade. I don't like to do that. As much as you may have been tortured by Guns, Germs, and Steel, I personally think it's better than some teachers require like kids reading 10 textbook chapters. Not for me. Miss Buff is not into that. So how do you fill out this chart? Okay, the chart is actually really easy to fill out. So I gave you a bunch of links. Okay, so it says summer reading. Okay, so I'm going to update this with the YouTube explaining the summer assignment with this video, but I have for you Traditions and Encounters textbook website. So if you haven't been utilizing this, it's a great resource. So all you have to do is you have to go through chapter outlines and boom, everything is there for you. So you just have to search by chapter, and the chapters are like one off from our digital textbook. But guess what? You have access to all of your weeklies. We're definitely going to make sure that we do a clean up the drive so we save everything. But it has all of the information, all of the key concepts. It has the chapter outline is really what you want. So it has all the information that occurred in each time period. Very detailed, but short, sweet. So that's one tool, is the textbook. Another tool, I photocopied this for you. I scanned this in because your review book does not have the early 9th grade stuff. Since the course changed, they cut some of the 9th grade stuff from your 5 Steps to a 5 book. So you have this in your 5 Steps to a 5 book, but it doesn't go back to the beginning. I gave it to you from the beginning. Good news is your 5 Steps to a 5 book, you keep. It's yours. So that 5 Steps to a 5 book, you're going to have over the summer as a resource. You don't even need the early stuff. I gave it to you, but you have everything you need in your review book, and it gives you a beautiful timeline. So I thought the 600 to 1450 might help you out when you get to the 1200 CE periodization. But look, I can't, it might let me rotate. Let me see if it lets me rotate. In your review book, you have this chart. And what is it called? Change and continuity chart. It gives you the change and continuities that occur in world history. So what do you really have to do? You have to synthesize this chart for me, and you're going to tell me what you think is important. And you're going to do a little background research, and you're essentially going to transfer it to this document. So Miss Buff gave you essentially the chart done. It's just you're going to have to explain and analyze on my graphic organizer. So the work is pretty much done for you. Where is that again? CCOT timeline. And it's also in your 5 Steps to a 5 review book. You can also utilize the College Board website. The course description will help you. And then I have a ton of stuff on my 10 AP downloads page that will help you as well, especially if you look ahead to the AP exam study guide. I have tons of goodies with chronological order and so on and so forth. So even though we haven't done it yet, like look at all Miss Buff has for periodizations, chronological order. I have tons of goodies. Okay. So a lot of the work for you is done for that periodization handout. So you do that. You're going to complete it over here. Part 1, periodizations. That's one whole test grade. Easy. Okay, the next part. Okay, so a little bit different. And I just want to make sure these links work, and they do. I updated everything. Okay. So parts 2 and 3 are books, highlight, and essay. So this assignment will give you the opportunity to read in more depth about a world history topic or theme that interests you. Attached is a list of books you may choose from to read over the summer. The book that you choose will help prepare you for our work in the fall. Many of these books are works of historical fiction. They give you the flavor of a time and place in a painless way. I have tried to provide you with a variety of choices. In September, you will be expected to turn in a book highlight review. The book review must be typed, size 12 font, and double space. Keep the page layout settings. All right, so here's what you're going to do. Different than Guns, Germs, and Steel. Remember how I made you do all of those chapter summaries? Not making you do that this year. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to pick a book, and I'm going to speak to the books in a minute. As you read the book, highlight things that pop out to you. All you're going to do is you're going to provide 2 quotes that you feel exemplify the overall theme, message, and morale of the book. You're going to cite the page number and write a 5 to 8 sentence explanation as to why you chose that. That's it. Then you're going to provide 2 additional quotes that you found interesting or surprising. So all in all, you're doing 4 book quotes and then explaining why you chose them. So you're going to read the directions in more depth, but rather than doing for each chapter, I'm having you do book highlights. It's something that you can't copy paste from the internet. I will know if you read the book based on the quotes that you choose. I'm also going to be running this through the originality report to make sure that we aren't copying from each other, because although AP World is a team sport, we do have to do this assignment individually. So Miss Buff made the mistake her first year of teaching the class that I made them do chapter summaries. And then I realized, whoops, some of the books have like 30 chapters and some of the books have like 5. So then I was like, oh, that's not going to work. So to make it fair, 4 quotes in total. Okay, then you're going to write a paper similarly to what you did last year. Hardest part is keeping it to the page limit. So 3 pages max. That includes everything. So you do not have to answer these in the order I put them. These just need to be addressed throughout the whole paper. I gave you an approximate of how much you should be writing for each, but that's not gospel. Miss Buff likes quality, not quantity. Okay, so tasks 2 through 6 are going to be in an essay format. The order does not matter in which you write. The paragraphs are suggestions to help you adhere to the length. However, you can combine tasks. Like you might say, you know what, source and bias should go together. And that makes sense. So however it works for you, you're going to make sure that your paper flows. You're going to read the rubric. Any outside sources that you use must be cited in an MLA format. You may use the research paper guide to help you. You don't need to cite at all. You might not need it at all, but some of you may need to when you have to research the author's background. Some of your books have the author's background in it, some do not. You do not need to use the AP Intro Cue Card essay format. You can loosely use that. Do not quote from the book. So you're going to tell me about the source. Is the author biased? You're going to give me the historical context. and you're going to give me a book synthesis and a recommendation. Would you suggest it? So I have in here a rubric. Now I converted this from Word, so I'm sorry. It very much messed up my spacing, so that's why I keep deleting as I go. I'm sorry, it looks a little wacky, but you get the gist of what the assignment is. But you definitely want to read through my rubric, and you definitely want to read through all the directions before you start. Okay. The books that you choose from. All right, so I gave you 11 book suggestions. I am open to, if you have another suggestion, like if you find something that you want to read, email it to me and I'll tell you if you can use it. So you're not limited to this. So I'm going to walk through the different books, what I think of each, and you can make your determination, and then I'll have you ask questions at the end. Okay, so the examination is about China. If you're somebody who reading is difficult for you, this is a very easy book to read. It's a made-up story. It's about two boys who go through like the civil service exam in China and their journeys with that. So it's an easy read. Things Fall Apart, very challenging. It's mainly about the effect of imperialism on Africa. Kids who read it absolutely love it. I definitely think it's a hard book to read, but it will definitely help you for the content in 10th grade. All of these will, but this one especially. First They Killed My Father, amazing book. They have a Netflix movie on it as well that Angelina Jolie put out. I think you could still access it on Netflix. It is a firsthand account of the genocide in Cambodia. So kids who read this loved it. A Thousand Splendid Suns is my favorite book on the summer reading. It looks long, but it reads really quickly. It is the same author as The Kite Runner. It's about two women and their experiences in Afghanistan and like the difficulties of Islamic fundamentalism on them. Absolutely love this book. History of the World in 6 Classes, adorable book. Kids really like this book. It's pretty easy to read. It gives you an overview of the whole course. It's cute, it's unique. It goes through history in different beverages. So like wine, spirits, Coca-Cola, tea, coffee, so on and so forth. So it goes through like history in different beverages. So this is a popular book. A lot of teachers require this for the summer reading in 9th grade. I think it works better in 10th, but a lot of teachers require this in 9th. If you're looking for the like short, get to the point Miss Buff reading, that would be this one. The Crisis of Islam, Holy War, and Unholy Terror. This one reads more like a textbook, but if you're looking for just like the quick, I need to get this done kind of a thing, it goes through the history of Islam, terrorism. It goes up to 2001. And from the beginning, Islam is a huge part of the AP exam. So some kids opt to read it just because it gets the job done. It's definitely the shortest book on the summer reading, but it definitely reads more like a textbook. Okay, let me just move this little image, this guy playing tricks on me. Okay, The Places in Between. This, if you love geography, you'll love this book. Personally, for me, I didn't love it, but anyone who does read it loves it. It's not my cup of tea, but if you like geography, you will like this book. It's about like a man who walks through the Middle East, and he talks about like the current day geography and how it pertains to ancient geography, and then like more relates it to modern era. So anyone who's read it has loved it, but it has to be your cup of tea. Lolita in Tehran, similar to A Thousand Splendid Suns, about Islamic fundamentalism and how like they banned books and censorship. And these women form a reading circle with books, and they read like Western books. So awesome book as well. Mao's Last Dancer, there's a movie for this one as well that we have in the library. It's about communist China and censorship, and it follows ballerinas and like their like lack of freedom of expression and how they acquire it under Mao Zedong's regime, and how then they go on to the United States. I Am Malala. You might have read the middle school version of this. This is the adult version. I'm pretty sure that you know who Malala is, but she was shot in the head for speaking out against the Taliban. So she's a very popular figure today. A lot of kids love to read this book. I think it's an easy read, powerful read, and it focuses on Pakistan. Popular one as well, The Badass Librarians of Timbuktu. AP World teachers love this book. So it's about how like the Islamic Golden Age, like the records were preserved, and how they preserve them, and then like the impact on those ancient records with like Islamic fundamentalism. So kids who read it really like it as well. I tried to keep only the books on here that kids like. So it's up to you. You need to choose something that works for you. What I recommend doing is I recommend like Mrs. Fight has all these books in the library. Before you make a commitment, why don't you look through them in the library? Or what I do is like I go on Amazon Kindle and I look through like the first couple of pages, or go to like Barnes and Noble and look at the books first, because once you commit, you're probably not going to want to change, and you don't want your parents to buy a second book. I like to digitally read. Not everyone does. So I like to do the previews of the book before I purchase it. But you can't blame me if you don't like your book, because I'm leaving it very open to you. So pick something that's going to be like a nice beach or pool read at the beginning of the summer, and then it's done. Okay, so this is very different than the 9th grade reading. So I have on here, after reading the handout, I understand what the summer reading assignment consists of for 10 AP World History. I also understand the student expectations for an advanced placement track. I am aware that the following parts will be submitted in September: your periodization graphic organizer, your book highlights, 4 in total, those are your quotes. And your essay is 3 pages in total. So you are aware that all the portions must be handed in together, that I strongly urge you to turn it in on the first day, but the die date is September 23rd. So if you don't do it, automatic removal from the course. So because it's digital, the signature, I put for you a digital signature on Google Forms, which you're going to fill out tonight with your parents. I'm going to email your parents later in the day saying that I sent this home, so everyone's aware. So you're going to fill this out with your name. Then it says, after reading the handout, I understand what the summer reading assignment consists of. I also understand the student expectations. I'm aware of the above. Then I wrote how it counts as 3 test grades and how you're penalized if you don't have it in. And then I wrote, by typing my full name, I am aware of the summer assignment. By typing my parents' email, I'm acknowledging that they are aware of the assignment. So you would type their email. And then you're going to check off one of the following. This is important. I will be enrolled in AP World History in the fall. I have dropped or been removed from AP World. I haven't particularly pulled anyone. I've had conversations with some of you, but really it's going to be up to you whether or not you're going to be enrolled in the global track, and you will notify your guidance counselor, or you're attending another school in the fall. So even if you know like you're not in this class next year, you have to fill out the signature form for me tonight, and then you'll hit submit. Couple other things I just want to make sure before I forget. All right, I tried to make it a little bit easier than last year. So part 2, I made for you a template, just so there's no questions over the summer. I gave you a heading. So you're going to write your name. I wrote 10 AP World History. I wrote Ms. Buffalino because that is what I go by. and you're going to write the date. You're going to put your book highlights, which are really the quotes. You're going to put them there. Then I inserted a new page, and you're just putting the essay there. So that way it's easy peasy, and you know exactly what you're doing. So that is all on Google Classroom for you. I made a copy of the template for you. I gave you the summer reading link, which I will be updating later today. I gave you a direct link to my downloads and to the 9th grade downloads page. So tonight for homework, you're going to read through this and your digital signature will be due tomorrow. So all should be handed in on the first day of school. The die date is September 23rd, but I would not do that. I have not had any 10th graders not turn it in on the first day because by 10th grade, we learn time management. So just keep that in your back pocket.